Welcome to Escape Room Reviews. My name's Zach, and today we're talking about Lab Rat at The Hatch Escapes in Los Angeles, California. Lab Rat takes place in a laboratory where giant rats are performing odd experiments on human beings, specifically you. The peculiar Dr. Ratkenstein has captured you and your cohorts and is doing experiments regarding human intelligence, or the lack thereof. If you don't make it out of his trials in time, he'll have to put you in the test subject chipper. It's like a wood chipper, but for test subjects. Lab Rat is a 60-minute escape room with a recommended group size of 4 to 12. We ended up playing it with 6, which I think was a pretty good number. I might lean toward like 5 or so with enthusiasts, but 6 was definitely a good number. Medium difficulty. The game was not scary by any means. And there were no live actors present. Lab Rat has won 13 different awards. Best Overall In-Person Escape Room of the Year 2022, Best of Morty 2022, 63rd place Top Rooms Topeka, 45th place Topeka 21, Silver for Best Story, Silver for Best Story in 2020 as well, Best Escape Room in Los Angeles in 2020, 21st place in 2020 Topeka, 12th place Topeka, in 2019, Gold for Best Story and Escape Authority, 8th place Top Room Topeka in 2018, Golden Lock winner in 2018, and Most Creative in 2018. So, they've won a lot of stuff, and rightfully so. The Hatch is located in West Hollywood. Parking was difficult-ish to find. It's kind of like in between a residential and a commercial district, so parking's kind of tight between that. Their lobby was nice and expansive, really cool. It's a fairly plain lobby, but it was really big, and they had cool lighting and stuff with it. We didn't get a party room or anything. I don't know if they had one. But the staff was nice, staff was friendly. Our GM had only ever played 2 escape rooms, the 2 at the Hatch, but she was nice regardless. All right, let's talk set. The decor of this room was amazing. As I mentioned with the story, you are humans, and you're being tested on by giant rats. So you have a rat maze, if you will, but you are now the size of a rat, or vice versa. It gets confusing. But basically you had, giant pencils, giant coffee cups, all this stuff like outside of your cage, because in this world the rats are the giants and we're tiny. The set was awesome. I think it was probably my favorite part of the room. Not the puzzles were any bad. I'll get to that. But it really tied the whole story in together when you could look out of your cage and see a giant part of an Amazon box or stuff like this, which was really, really cool to see. And the whole room being arranged like a rat maze was a really nice touch. All right, now the puzzles. The puzzles were also really, really good. In your starting cage, there's a good amount of puzzles and some stuff I had never seen before. One my team really liked, and after that, there was some. Without spoiling too much, there was some unique twists on things. There was some I'd seen before that, in this case, I didn't think were executed the absolute best. But again, this room came out in 2017, so it's definitely been a while. Which does bring up the point of room maintenance. The room definitely was lacking maintenance, as were all games that my group played in LA during the week, like I mentioned, in the basement. But puzzle-wise, fantastic. Some good isolation stuff, some good unique technological stuff, as well as your basic lock and key and stuff. Just a great mix and some really clever puzzles all in all. Now, clue system. So the clues did just come over a loudspeaker, right? Which is, fairly standard, especially for the time the game was made. The way you ask for a clue is, like a lot of games, there's a button. But in this case, as you move through the maze and prove yourself smarter and smarter, the button would change what it said on it. So in your starting room, it said the very, very dumb human giving up button or something like that. And then in the next space, it was the slightly less dumb human giving up button, etc., until it was the marginally intelligent human asking for help button, which I thought was a cool little twist. And it let the GM know we needed a clue without having to like yell up at the cameras, which I always appreciate. The game is definitely handicap accessible. There is no real portion where I don't think a handicapped person would struggle with it. No real colorblind problems either. Overall good accessibility. As I mentioned, the room definitely has maintenance problems. There was technology problems going on, like they had a really old camera system you had to use in the game, and the camera was not really working, as well as a couple other things. But uniquely, as I was talking about with my dad when I got back into town, the use of water in the room was really cool. I don't want to spoil too much, but as I mentioned, you start in a rat cage, which might give you a little hint as to how water comes into play. And I've never seen water used to that level. And apparently when the room opened, it was even more, which was crazy to find out. Finally, my closing thoughts. I would absolutely recommend this room to beginners and enthusiasts alike. I mean, there's a reason it has so many awards. The game is fantastic. Of the 8 games I played in LA over the 3-day period a couple weeks back, it is the only one I actually gave a heart to on Morty. I think the puzzles is fantastic. I think the set is fantastic. I think they just knocked it out of the park. I really wanted to try Hatch's other game, The Nest, but it is a like 1 to 2 player, very story-centric thing, so we couldn't really do it with our group. But I do look forward to The Hatch's new game coming out. Supposedly going to have a bunch of multiple endings, which will be interesting to see how they do it. Go play this game. The set, the story, the puzzles, the humor. The humor of the room is amazing. If you couldn't tell just by like the little button and stuff, the room is cracking jokes the whole time. Even the premise alone is awesome. Just play this game. It is absolutely worth the money. It's worth the time. It's worth all of that. It was by far my favorite game in LA. Not my favorite in the whole like SoCal area. That's still, I think, Weeping Witch, but it's up there for sure. Have you guys played Lab Rats? What are your thoughts? Is it better, worse than some of the other LA games like The Basement or Stash House? Let us know down in the comments below. And if there's any other games you'd like us to review, let us know down there too. With Escape Room Reviews, I've been Zach. See you guys next time.